Hello! Today we are going to make a snowy owl. So for this project you are going to need a piece of white paper. I'm also going to have a piece of like a bluish paper. I have like a teal or any type of paper that could be the sky. So if you have a color at your house that you could use. If you don't, you can just use your white paper. We'll also then need a glue stick, a scissors, I'm going to use a black marker. You could also use a black crayon or a pencil, and some crayons. All right, let's get started. I'm going to take everything away except for my black marker and my white piece of paper. Again, if you don't have a black marker, you could use a black crayon or a pencil. And we're going to start by drawing the owl, the snowy owl, using lots of different shapes and using the space of our paper. So making it a nice big size. So we're going to start off towards the top of our paper with a circle. I'm just going to eyeball it, try to make it on my own, but if you wanted to get a very small bowl or something, you could trace something if you would like, but I'm going to just try to make it myself today, and I like to go kind of slow so that I can make it as round as possible. Okay, once you have your circle towards the top, we're going to add the body. So on one side I'm going to bring a line down, curve it around, and then come back up to the other side like so, a big U shape. That's our body. Now let's add some wings on each side. So on each side I'm going to draw a curved line like a half circle. So I'm going to go start right here and make a curved line like that, and then I'll do the same on the other side, curved line like so. Let's add some features to this owl on its head. We'll start with some ears. Let's make some little triangle shapes at the top, just like that. They don't need to be very big because owls have really small little tufts of feathers up there that kind of make them look like ears, even though they don't really have ears, just little holes to here. And some eyes. Owls have very nice sized eyes, some bigger sized eyes. So we're going to draw some big circles like so, and then we'll add some nice black circles in the middle of it. And then of course a beak. So we'll add a triangle that's got our horizontal line on top and then our point at the bottom, like that. All right, that's the main part of the owl, but now we're going to color it in and give it some texture. So I am going to grab an orange crayon and a yellow crayon and a black crayon. All right, so let's start with the eyes. We learned in the slides that snowy owls have yellow eyes. So I'm going to color those circles in yellow. And then, just so that it's a little bit different than the eyes, I'm going to color the beak in orange. But you could choose a different color. You could choose brown. You could make it yellow again. It could be black. Now, once we're done coloring, those are the big pops of color, because otherwise this is a snowy owl, so it's going to be white. But I want to add some texture so that it looks like our owl has feathers. So I'm just going to add some curved lines like that all the way down my owl. And let's add some to the wings, but this time I'm going to make the curved lines go sideways instead. that. And I'm gonna leave the head just like that so that we can really see its face and we aren't seeing just a bunch of lines instead. Now I'm going to cut out my owl. If you don't have a second piece of paper, skip this step and don't do it. But if you do have a colored piece of paper that you are gluing this on, then now we're gonna cut it out. And I'm gonna try the best I can to stay in the line. And when I cut, I make sure that my thumb is up and I'm cutting away from myself. When I cut, I steer with my hand that is not cut, does not have the scissors in it. And I like to move my paper around to make it easier. And if there's extra pieces that are in your way that you don't need, you can cut that off so that it doesn't get in your way. There we go. Now let's put our snowy owl onto our background. So I'm gonna grab my piece of paper. If you don't have another piece of construction paper to do this and your snowy owl is still on your white piece of paper, you can just color your background with crayons or markers or even watercolors. We want our snowy owl to be sitting on a branch. So I got a piece of brown paper. If you don't have a piece of brown paper, you could take your marker or crayon and draw this at the bottom of your piece of paper. I'm gonna take this and I am just going to rip it. I'm like gonna, because I want it to look like a branch that's real rough. So I'm gonna make both of my sides really rough like that. Just like that. And I'm going to glue that onto the bottom. See how it's sticking off the sides? That's okay. I can cut those off later, or if you want it to hang off the sides, you could just keep it like that too. I'm gonna take my glue stick and glue the back. And stick it right onto the bottom, very bottom. Just like so. Now I'll add my owl right above like this. So our owl will need some glue. Whoop. He's flying away from me. Okay, I'm gonna put him right on top of there. Now, our owl needs some feet. So I'm gonna grab my marker again, or you could grab a black crayon if you'd like, and let's add some little feet for him. So I'm gonna put 2 lines coming from the bottom of his body, and then I'm just gonna do a little rainbow shape, a little curve like that. If you want to put another line down the middle, you can. Okay, now if you want the branch sticking, I kind of actually like how that looks, like it's sticking off the sides. I might just keep it like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of texture now to my background and to my branch. So if you have a piece of paper that is a branch, you can grab a crayon that's brown. And if you did this with marker or crayon, you could use a black to go on top of it. Okay, or you could use black on this too, I suppose, but I like brown so it doesn't like make his feet look like it's part of the branch. So I'm just gonna add some organic wavy lines to my branch right there. Okay, there we go. And let's add some texture to our background by adding some snowflakes. So I'm gonna use my white crayon to do that with an X, make a bunch of X's. They could be different sizes. And then put a line through each of the X's, like that. And if you want to make it extra fancy, you can put some dots on the ends of them. Just like that. And you see that? It's another way to make a snowflake. Okay. And then your snowy owl will be finished. I love owls. I love how there's so many different kinds too, right? Today we're focusing on that snowy owl because it's winter, and I thought that would be a good owl to focus on this week. There we go. There's my finished owl with all those different shapes. Very cool. When you finish yours, please post it to Seesaw so that I can see it. Have fun.